Hello my friends and welcome. Today I would like to talk about measurements for socks. If you like to knit a sock, you need two sizes. That's the length of your foot and the width, which is you need to know how many stitches to cast on the needles. Right, so first measurement, that's the length of the foot, and one way of doing that is measure your foot. Step on the piece of paper with your whole weight and then just draw around your foot. And then measure from this point there to the furthest point here. In my case, that's 25.5 centimeters. If for any reason you can't measure the foot, or maybe you need a sock for someone else, then you do need to know the size of the shoe. Let's say, in my example, the size of the shoe is 38. This is European size. So we need to divide that number by 3, which will give me 12.66 centimeters. And then that number you need to multiply by 2. And in my case, it's 25.3 centimeters. And it's really close. You can see it's only 0.2 centimeters difference. Now the width of the shoe. One way of measuring that is you measure your foot all the way around this place here with your measuring tape. I got 23.5 centimeters. And then you can measure your foot in 3 places, which is around all the way around this place here, then that one here, and then just above there. I got 22 centimeters here, 30 there, and 23.5 there. So you need to add all those numbers together and divide them by 3. By 3, oh sorry, by 3. Which gives me 25.16 centimeters. There's a bit difference there in these two numbers. The third way, that's I prefer third one here. So what we need to do, we take our length of the foot, either use that on that number, which is roughly the same, but we'll take the length of the foot, in my case 25.5 centimeters, and I will just subtract 1 centimeter, and I will get 24.5 centimeters, and that's going to be the width of my foot. So the next thing to do is knit your swatch or little sample, and then you need to count the stitches in 1 square centimeter. In my case, I have 2 stitches in 1 square centimeter. So what we do now, we multiply this 24.5 centimeters. We multiply by our amount of stitch in 1 square centimeter or in 1 centimeter, and we will get 49 stitches. This number here, 49 stitches, I would go even numbers, 48. In my husband's case, his length of the foot is 28.3 centimeters, but he does wear shoe size 45 because he has quite wide feet. And if you do that measurements there, 45 divided by 3, which is 15, and then multiply by 2, that would give me 30 centimeters, and that's quite a big difference between these two numbers. So I would still go for length of the foot, which is 28 centimeters, and I would subtract 1 centimeter off, and that will give me 27 centimeters. This number here I would multiply by my gauge, which is 2 stitches, and I would get 54 stitches, which I would cast on. 54 doesn't divide by 4, gives it's 13.5 stitch on each needle. If we have 4 So I would round up it to 52 and end up with 13 stitches on each needle. And that would be okay, because remember that our material is stretchy. Then I do have I found this on internet, it's random, there are loads of them. This is this heel flap, and this is this bit here, which we knit, this part there. And this one suggests that my size is 38 European or 39, I would have to knit 6 centimeters, and it's too big. I did knit that one, and the sock is too big. It's just floppy. It falls off my feet. So I would go 5. I would subtract 1 centimeter, and in my case, I would go 5 centimeters here, the length of the heel flap. And in my husband's case, it's 7.5, suggested number here. And I knitted 6 centimeters for him. And because, like I said, we do knit with wool, which is very stretchy, or it might be something like acrylic or anything like that. That's not that stretchy, but still it goes, you know. So in his case, I would go for 6 centimeters here. But I suppose the only way to find out is pick up yarn and knit the sock. Next size is here. We need to know the length of the sock till we start to do our decrease for the toe bit. And so now we have this decrease here, which is for toes, and we need to really know how many centimeters would be in this part here. So if the sock, if you would look on the sock this way, altogether is 28 centimeters. But this part here for the sock is usually very good, from around 4.5 to 5 centimeters. If we would put 5 centimeters, that would leave us this bit for 23 centimeters. But I would like sock to sit tightly around the foot. So from all this number, I am going to subtract 10% off, and that will give me around 25.5 centimeters for him. So I would take 21 centimeters for this part here. That's going to be my new measurements. And that will leave me 4.5 centimeters for this part here. This part would be 21 centimeters, and we would leave 4.5 centimeters here for our decreases. I just wrote down the measurements of the sock. So length of the foot for my husband is 28 centimeters, and the width I calculated will be 27 centimeters for him. So my gauge is here. So I have 2 stitches in 1 square centimeter and 2.7 rows. So to get 27 centimeters, I need to multiply these 2 stitches by 27, and that gives me 52 stitches. So I casted 53 stitches, 1 extra to close around together, and 52 left, so 13 on each needle. Then I did knit rib stitch, this part here, and I did 26 rows. Then I've done this bit here in stocking stitch, that was 16 rows there, and I ended up with this length here, 15 centimeters. Then I moved on to the flap of the heel, which is this part here, this one here, and I knitted 6 centimeters. And then I've done my decrease for the heel there, and moved on to this part there where I did my decreases. And then I ended up here again 13 stitches on each needle, and I've done this bit. So this part here together, you measure it. Don't stretch it or anything, just put it down and measure. In my case it's 21 centimeters. We'll be doing decrease, so the sock is here, and we'll do decreases in these places here and slowly move to this point here. So we take our 4.5 centimeters and we multiply that by our rows in 1 square centimeters, which is in my case 2.7. So 4.5 centimeters multiplied by 2.7 rows gives me 12 rows in total. So it will take 12 rows to get 4.5 centimeters of material. So I have 52 stitches at the moment on all needles, and I want to go down to 12 stitches. I will leave 12 stitches and tie them all together at the end of the knitting. I subtract 12 from 52 and that leaves me 40 stitches, and those 40 stitches I need to decrease in 12 rows. This decrease here, we'll do one decrease on this side and one decrease on that side, and the same here. So in one row I'll be decreasing 4 stitches. I've done my 12 rows here, 1 to 12, and I decided that I will decrease 4 stitches in the first row, then knit a second row without decrease, third row 4, fourth row no decrease again, and I will do 4 decreases in every next row, every single next row, and that will in total be 40 stitches to decrease.